come along with me while I fill up 3 spreads or 6 pages of my sketchbook. Today I use a variety of different mediums and I draw a variety of very different things. So if you don't like the first drawing or the second drawing, then I advise you to stick around regardless because I do very different stuff in this video. So if you don't like the first page, you might like the content that comes later on. But yeah, this is going to be a little bit more of a laid back video. You're just going to come along with me while I do some sketchbooking. If you've seen any of my latest videos, then you know that I already have a new sketchbook, and that is not the sketchbook I am using right now. In some of my recent videos, I painted the cover of my new sketchbook, I made the welcome page, and I've drawn Firen. I've recorded 3 videos for the sketchbook. I actually have a 4th drawing that is recorded, but hasn't been posted yet. But it's a square sketchbook, and it's bigger than what I've normally worked with. I liked having a bigger sketchbook for my last sketchbook, so I went with the exact same dimensions. But I had a trip at uni for a drawing on location quite early on in this year. I brought this new sketchbook with me to school once, and I felt really nervous about it because the cover is very delicate, and I'm very attached to the sketchbook as well because I have already put so much time and effort into it, because I did plan out and paint the sketchbook, the cover, and the cover is very flimsy. It's not the sturdiest. Like, I think it's just like a sheet of like cardboard or something, but very thin cardboard or something like that. Even just having it in my bag once, I was so worried about it getting folded or just ruined in some way. So I don't really want to bring it in my bag a lot. I feel better transporting it like in a suitcase or something, or it's just kind of surrounded by clothes and soft things. But pulling it in and out of my bag, I just feel like it's a recipe for disaster. And I've just started the sketchbook. I've got hundreds of drawings left in it. I'm gonna keep it for a while, so I don't want the sketchbook to have any damage to it yet. So I'd rather not bring that with me when I'm drawing on location. I'd rather not bring it with me to uni unless I have very few things in my bag, so it's not gonna get like stuck on something or folded or ripped in some way. And for drawing on location anyway, I'd rather just have a smaller sketchbook that I can easily whip out and just draw on the spot there. So I ordered another sketchbook, and it's just a standard A5 sketchbook. I've had a billion of these before. That way it's more portable. I'm not gonna paint on the cover. It's a pink sketchbook, so I kind of just want to keep it that way. It's not a boring looking sketchbook, so I'll keep it like that. And also because by painting the cover, and I feel like I put so much more value on the sketchbook, and I get so much more worried about having ugly pages and, you know, something happening to it. And I don't really want to have that worry with this sketchbook. So I think I'll have one dedicated, like, unserious or messy sketchbook, and then the one I've been working on, the bigger one, the square one, will be my more for like finished pieces, and I actually want to sit down and make something good, you know? So yeah, I ordered the sketchbook, and then the day it came, I just really wanted to draw. So for this first drawing, I'm drawing some dragons. Never done that before. We have a new class this year because I'm studying illustration at university. I'm a 3rd year, so that's my final year, and we now have a class called Professional Practice. And in this class, we will do things like make a portfolio, make a website, make a business card. Right now, our project is to work on a piece of direct mail. So something that we would then send out to like art directors and stuff like that, just for them to see our work, keep us in mind, maybe hire us for our project. It's very different from other work I've done for uni, because for uni, you know, we'll get a brief, there's something more specific I have to do, and I'm catering it towards my tutors. Like, it's stuff that I think that they will like, and that they, you know, I'm taking in their feedback. I'm trying to push the boundaries and push my art. For this exact thing, as this is something that will affect, or that is really important for my future as an artist, I think it's important that it reflects me and the kind of work that I do and the kind of work that I want to do. So these past few weeks, I've been thinking a lot about, you know, the type of work that I enjoy making and the type of work that I would be interested in, you know, partaking in. I really don't like realism. I don't like working like a photocopier. That's kind of how I see it. See an image, draw it exactly how it is. You know, I really don't like that. I don't like, I just don't like realism. I like more surrealism, like fantasy elements, mythology, things that aren't real aren't there. I've started doing a lot more of that in my project work as well for uni. So I was thinking for my direct mail and for more like art career based stuff, not just social media and like what I personally want to do. I think it'd be nice to tap more into that whole surrealism thing that I like to do. Draw more fantasy, more mythology, more creatures and places that doesn't exist, and So I was thinking that I could try to expand on that and not just draw characters, because anyone that's been here for a while, even if you haven't been here for a while, it's pretty easy to see that I do a lot of character work. Always have done. I like drawing people and characters. Lately, I've been wanting to step out of that a little bit, and I want to actually put these characters in stories, in environments, I've been trying to work on my storytelling, actually having backgrounds and characters interacting with things. And even more than that, I think it'd be nice to start drawing creatures and animals and just expanding. So I was thinking something that's like more on the fantasy side or not quite realistic is dragons. It'd be so nice if I could just draw dragons. I love fantasy. There's a very long backstory for no reason. But yeah, I'm drawing dragons and I am using some black ink for this. I was given this at uni for my first year and I still have it. And yeah, I just wanted to do a little bit inky, watercolory work. So I started off with blocking in silhouettes, more watered down ink, and then I go in with details with less watered down ink or just straight up just ink. And yeah, I've never drawn dragons before. I don't really draw creatures or animals at all. In fact, I had never drawn a single one until like last year, I think, like late last year when we went to the zoo for uni. And yeah, I also have little to no experience with inks and watercolors. I've said this a bajillion times on my channel before, but watery based mediums, they're just really intimidating to me. I don't have a lot of experience with it, but I do want to get better at it, which is why I am doing this. So yeah, the dragons aren't very detailed. I also think it's the worst work I've made in this video, but I'm never gonna get better at it if I don't try. So yeah, I think this is my worst spread. To be fair, I was also on call with my family, so I was a little bit distracted. I hope that you guys enjoy seeing something a little bit different. After I drew the dragons, you see me flip through a few pages, and you're not going to see those pages be drawn in this video. They're project work for something I'm doing for uni, and you'll have to just see me draw it in a different video because I'm planning on doing a video on the project that I'm now working on, so you'll have to see that later. Then for the next spread, I go in a completely different direction. I have a bunch of these cute lights that they just kind of sit in my windowsill. And I was just looking around my room, trying to think of what to draw. And then I just saw those, the cute lights in my windowsill. And I was like, I'll do it, I'll just draw them, I guess. So I'm using, I think they're called Koran Dash or something like that. Wax pastels. I'm quite new with these as well. I think they were a birthday gift last year, or this year. The first two are a bit rough. That's kind of a theme with all my sketches in this video, but it makes sense because I don't warm up before getting into these sketches. These sketches technically are my warm-ups, I guess. The first of whatever I draw is normally always the worst. So the first two little characters that I draw, the mushroom and the little pumpkin guy, they're definitely the worst of the bunch. I make two others. I make a duck and a capybara on the other page, and I love those two so much. Yeah, I think the decisive lines look really good. Like, not sketchy, quick, like multiple lines. I think the one decisive line, it's scary as hell, but I just think it looks so clean, and I don't know. So there's something kind of natural about having that one go. I don't know how to explain it. I just like it. And yeah, I'm very happy with the duck and capybara. I think they're very cute. And this is also very unlike anything I've ever drawn before. Recently, I have been trying to kind of draw animals. I've drawn a few cats and birds and stuff, but I'm not doing it in very cartoony ways. I'm I am following actual references and trying to learn the anatomy. These are obviously little like cartoony characters, so very, very different, but I really enjoyed it. So if you're wondering why I've got so many of these lights, I actually have 3 more. I have a little panda, I've got another duck, and I have an axolotl. And that is because my boyfriend has bought them all for me. And I have a funny story about this actually. Last Christmas, I was scrolling through Amazon, just like a bunch of random pages on Amazon, because my family and my boyfriend, they were asking me what I want for Christmas, and I couldn't really think of anything. So I was just scrolling through Amazon, seeing if if I found anything or any ideas of things I could want for Christmas. And then I found the capybara light, and I sent a picture of it to my boyfriend because I was like, oh my god, it's a capybara light. We were also playing a capybara game at the time as well. So like obviously if I saw a capybara, I was gonna send it to him. So I sent a picture of it. And then he sent me a crying emoji back. So like I jokingly wrote back something like, "Oh, don't cry, it's a capybara light. It's awesome." And then he wrote back, "That's not why I'm crying." And I asked why. And then he wrote, "I've already bought that for you." I just think that's just such an adorable story. I sent him the capybara light, like, "Oh, you should get me this for Christmas." Like, haha, it's so funny and cute. And then he's already bought it for me for Christmas. So the capybara light ended up being a early Christmas gift for me. So yeah, that's just kind of a funny story. Next up, again, is something so wildly different from the 2 other drawings I've made in this video. It's a sketch of a photo I took of the London Docklands Museum. This is where I had my uni trip at the very beginning of the school year, where I was drawing on location, and I did some drawings of the stuff like in the actual museum. But once I came back to my apartment, I kind of wanted to keep drawing. So I was going through my photos from today, or not today, but that day, and I came across this picture, and I was like, screw it, I'll just draw this, I guess. This is a more environmental piece, again, very different from the 2 other things that I drew in this video, and I'm using my Tombow brush pens, brush markers, whatever. And yeah, this as well, I also have little to no experience with. And environments, landscapes, cityscapes, all of it, I drew for the first time, like my first year of uni, and I haven't really done it many times since. I think the theme today in this video is just trying new things, stepping outside of my comfort zone, because everything I draw in this video is like so wildly not at all what I normally do. And the reason why I chose this picture to draw is because during that trip, my tutor was going through all our sketchbooks, like the work that we had done at the museum that day. And then she was showing what she did, because my tutor was drawing as well there. She had drawn a picture of one of the ships out there, and then she said that she drew the boat because, or she drew the ship because her words were something like, "It intimidated me, so naturally I drew it." And that kind of stuck with me. So I think that's kind of the theme in this video. This scared me, and that's exactly why I drew it. That wasn't meant to be good advice, but I think it was very good advice, and I will hold on to that. So yeah, that is kind of the theme in today's video. So this is a monochromatic piece. I only use like 2 blue pens, though I do like doing that with my sketches anyway. And yeah, I kept it more sketchy rather than detailed. Obviously, I wasn't using a ruler or anything. It's not really that accurate to the actual picture, but I'm not going for accuracy anyway. Like I said, I hate realism, so yeah. So I guess more life things. Uni started up about a month ago. I think it was 3 to 4 weeks ago. And I now have 1 week left of our first project. So I do want to make a video on that. I just need to actually finish the project first. There was the Storm Amy. How did you guys take it? You guys all good? Like, I was in the UK when it happened. Like, obviously, I'm studying in London, and it wasn't that bad here. Like, we had some wind, but I wasn't out in it, and wind is quite common here as well, so it didn't really feel much like a storm anyway. Life kind of moved on. But my parents are still back home in Norway, and they got hit pretty hard by the storm, which says a lot because we don't normally get hit by any storms. And yeah, I think like four of the trees by our house, they were, blown over. And I've never experienced one blowing over in my entire life of living there. So that's interesting. They were also without power for at least the entire day. There were different areas in my town that were out of power for closer to 2 days because cables were just, falling left and right. Trees were falling on the cables. Like, it was a mess. I guess the next thing is that Inktober is going on. And for the past 2 years, I've tried to be quite consistent with Inktober, at least in the beginning of it. I'm not really being that strict on myself this year. Don't get me wrong, I love Inktober, and I will still scroll TikTok and Instagram and be so pleased every time I see an Inktober piece and want to do some, but alas, it is my final year at uni, and I really want to do well. So all of my efforts are going into my projects. There's just a lot going on for my last year as well. So yeah, that is gonna have to just be my priority for this whole year. But at least the things that I make for school, I can try to document and still post. And I can obviously still draw things in between. I won't hold myself to being too strict on Inktober. I've done one piece though, and I am hoping to do a little bit more. But I need to focus on finishing this project first, since it is due in a week. And then for the last page, I am drawing some playful cats with colored pencils. This is related to a personal project of mine. There is a video to come on this. I thought I'd just throw this little clip into my video anyway, because I think that the other video will be long enough as it is. But yeah, this little sketch is some practice or some warm-up sketches for what I'm assuming will be my next video, but don't hold me to that. It'll either be the next video or the one after. I do want to get it out while it's still fall though, because it's a very fall, like kind of Halloween-y drawing. Like I've said before, I have little to no experience with animals. I have done a few cat sketches before, exactly because I want to get better at animals, like especially cats. I feel like out of all the animals out there, I feel like it's one of the less intimidating ones. So yeah, I'll start there. It's also just the animal that I feel like I'd be most likely to want to add in my drawings anyway. I just feel like cats just fit a lot with my characters. I realized that drawing cats in resting positions it's hard enough on its own. Drawing them playing and in movement is even more challenging. The first two, again, they are rough. they are rough. The anatomy isn't great. I was still warming up. I do like the last two though. I think one of my videos over the summer as well was me making sketches with colored pencils, and I found out that I actually really enjoyed that. So I kind of went back to that a little bit. So in this video, I drew dragons, I drew cute cartoony animal lights, I drew an environmental piece, and I drew little playful kitties. I've just been everywhere apparently. So yeah, if you guys enjoy these little like sketchbooky videos, these more laid back ones, then let me know. I'll take you along next time I sketchbook as well. Lastly, what I've been up to lately, I did finish reading King of Scars. I am now working on Rule of Wolves, and I'm still working on Kiss of Deception. And I've also started reading Alchemized, just because I was getting so many TikToks on it. I don't know, so many people have read it and loved it. And it just felt like a darker, like moodier read for like spooky season for the fall. In terms of games, I was playing Schedule 1 with my boyfriend a while back. Now we're playing Supermarket together. I've played Dredge, which is like a small indie game that I just got for the Switch. So me and my boyfriend were playing it. And yeah, so I finished Dredge, and we've been playing a little bit of Fortnite because there was that collaboration with K-pop Demon Hunters. So I do now have the Zoe skin, and my boyfriend has the Rumi skin. I downloaded Honkai Star Rail, and then for things I've been watching, I did finish The Summer Hikaru Died. I'm working on Dan to Dan on season 2 now, and I saw Dead Poets Society for the first time. But yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what types of videos you guys would like to keep seeing. In the meantime, you can keep up with me on TikTok or here with YouTube Shorts, and I'll see you guys next week.